Hello everyone, Tina here. I hope your day is going wonderful. I'm so glad you're joining me. Well, today we're not doing a 5-step card, but I am creating 2 cards using some Spellbinders Club kits. We're going to be using the Embossing Folder of the Month Club kit, the Stencil of the Month Club kit. It's this really cute snowman. And then I'm also going to be using some greetings from the Clear Stamp and Die of the Month Club kit. And we'll be creating a tree with this tomorrow. At least I think it's tomorrow. So keep a lookout for that video. So let's jump in and we're going to get started with our first card. We're going to build a snowman. This is a 5-piece stencil set. And I'm going to bring in my grit mat and we're going to start. We'll start in order and do stencil number 1 first. This stencil has corner edges so you know exactly where to line it up. This is the background of our snowman. I'm going to color this in with some Pink Fresh Studio inks. I have Ballet Slipper. And we're going to add some pink just to the edges here. This is going to come together really quickly. And you know what? I'm going to do two panels today, because we may just cut some layers out. Let's do this. Okay, so I'm going to layer, let's go ahead and do one more panel. That's layer 1. Now we're going to bring in our second layer. We will line up the corner markers. I love that there's corner markers. It just makes it so easy. Stencil 2, we're coloring in our snowman's cheeks. And then I'm going to do the same thing to another panel here. So we have this one all done. Now for the hat, I'm going to bring in a purple ink. And this is Candy Violet. Let me bring in a blending brush, a purple blending brush here. Let's add some color here. And I'm going to go heavy on the corners. This is going to give me extra dimension on here. But now I'm going to do my second panel also. And actually, you know, I am going to bring in another grit mat. I think it's just going to be easier if I have 2 grit mats. That way, we just keep it on there. Okay, we'll just line this up. Now let's add stencil number 3. Stencil 3, the entire stencil, we're just going to use my licorice ink, which is like a charcoal gray. And we're just going to add some ink here. Lovely. Let's go ahead and remove this one. And now we're going to add stencil 4, and that's all there is to that. He comes together really quickly, which is really nice. Now for stencil 5, we're going to use 3 different colors. So let's layer this using the same orange ink. I'm going to go heavy over the orange nose. And then for the eyebrows and the little collar here, I'm going to use a really light gray. This is Misty Coast. Let's add some gray here and on the bottom. Lovely. And then for the hat, we are going to use a darker purple. I'm going to use lavender. And that snowman's all done. Let's go ahead and finish off this snowman. And then this snowman's all done. So now we have 2 snowmen. Now we have 2 snowmen that are exactly the same. Okay, what I'm going to do is cut out the hat and the nose. And then I'm going to cut out the eyes too. The eyes, actually, I'm just going to be using a punch. This is a 1/2 inch punch. And we're just going to punch these out. We're going to add a little dimension to our snowman. And I will cut out the nose and I'll be right back. Now I'm going to take this panel and layer it on my card base. It is a very beautiful day out and we have lawnmowers going. I don't know if you can hear them or not. Okay, now with these, I'm going to go ahead and if you wanted to use the ink that you use to color this in and just go around the edges to take away the white lines, this does help with your fussy cutting. You can do the same thing with the nose. The eyes have a little bit of a border, so you don't have to do that to them. But I'm going to take some foam tape, I'm going to pop it up, and we are going to layer our nose and our eyes over our snowman. And I'm just wrapping it up. So now we have some dimension. Now this is cute on its own, but I'm going to go one step further. I'm bringing in a die set. This is the Spellbinders Christmas Bird Poinsettia. And I thought we would add a little bird to the hat along with some greenery. So I'm going to cut out the layers to the bird. And then we're going to do some holly leaves. Now we're going to add this cute little bird. I think I'm going to add this bird here. So it's standing on the rim of my snowman's hat. And then I'm going to add my mistletoe. Now I'm loving the way this turns out, but I do want to add a little extra texture. So I'm bringing in some DMC floss. This is silver. It is actually labeled D168. And I'm going to double up on it. And then I'm going to tie a bow here. Now I'm going to take my bow. I did put a glue dot here. And I'm going to attach it basically to the back of the bird. Now before I call this card done, I'm bringing in my glazing glue. And I'm going to go over the holly berries. Oops, that's a lot of glazing glue. But that will give it dimension and a little bit of extra shine. I'm also going to add a little dot to each one of the dots or the coal pieces for my snowman's mouth. Now it looks like it's clouding up my stencil. This is going to give this shine and dimension since we didn't do anything to the eyes. And then I'm also going to go over the eyes here. Well, and then for a stencil set that doesn't have any dimension to it, I think we created some pretty fun layers for our first card project. Okay, we're going to move along to our second card project, and we are going to use the Embossing Folder of the Month Club Kit. This is a really pretty embossing folder. Okay, it's called Holiday Flurry, and for this card we're using some ovals. This is the Essential Stylish Ovals, and I'm going to create a background and cut out a panel of white cardstock. And then I'm going to emboss it with this. I'm going to do that and I'll be right back. Okay, and I did take the largest one and I decided to do some layers with it. So I cut out a larger oval to go with it. We're actually going to layer these together. Now you have the debossed area. I'm going to flip this around and we're going to use the debossed area. We're just going to layer these together. And then I will take these and we're going to adhere them to the front of our card base. Okay, the largest oval in that die set fits an A2 panel beautifully. So that's the front of my card using the Holiday Flurry embossing folder. And what I'm going to do is do a little bit more die cutting, and we're going to embellish this card with the same die set. This is the Christmas Bird Poinsettia again. So let's do some die cutting. Now I die cut out the poinsettia, and we're going to do some layering with this. And I already did my ink blending, and then I'm going to add another foam square. And then I'm going to layer my poinsettia right in the middle. I'm going to add a little glue, and I already created the berries. I'm going to put those right in the center. Okay, after this is done, we have some of our mistletoe. And basically we're going to create a swag. So the left and right are going to be exactly the same. I'm going to actually trim down this this pine needle. We're going to add some gray leaves here too. Wonderful. Okay, now I'm going to do the exact same thing on the opposite side. For this card, we're going to use our Clear Stamp and Die of the Month Club kit, and I think the flourish is going to look better if I do a landscape style card. So we just turned it to where the poinsettia is on the left, and I think this is going to work out better. We're going to take our greeting from our Clear Stamp and Die of the Month Club kit. Let's go ahead and stamp that. And I just love the greeting that says Christmas blessings to you and yours. So we're going to stamp this on some white cardstock. I'm going to use my VersaFine Clair. We'll stamp this, and what I love is there's a coordinating die. Lovely. Now I'm going to take the coordinating die, and we are going to cut out our greeting. I love that they included, I love that the stamp companies now are creating coordinating dies for greetings. I think it's just fabulous. I'm going to run this through my die cut machine, and I will be right back. Went ahead and layered my greeting. I did pop it up with some foam tape, and then, I don't know if you noticed, but I did create the same bird, a little bit longer legs this time, and I think this is going to be a great place. Okay, for finishing touches on this card, we are going to bring back the glazing glue. I'm going to go over those berries, and then I'm also going to bring in some Color Essential Gems. I haven't used this color yet, but this is berry, and it matches beautifully our card today. So let's break out the berries. And we're going to add a few gems to our background. And then that will finish off that card today using the Embossing Folder of the Month Club kit. Actually 2 cards using Spellbinders Club kits. We have the Embossing Folder of the Month Club kit, and then we also have the Stencil of the Month Club kit. Join me tomorrow for another project where I'm actually going to use the Christmas tree in our Clear Stamp and Die of the Month Club kit. So join me for that video tomorrow. Keep a lookout for that. Thanks so much for joining me. Have a wonderful day. Sorry about the shaky camera. And we'll see you tomorrow. Bye-bye. Thanks so much for sticking with me to the end. I have 2 more videos that you guys might be interested here. If you guys are new and like the content that you see, click that subscribe button and also the notification bell. That way for future videos, be notified. Also, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It sure does help the channel. Have a wonderful day. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.